Hey everyone, welcome to the Tea List. It is my first episode. I'm excited, but I'm nervous because you just never know how people are going to receive your tea. But I'm just going to put it out there. I know that when you do things like this, you have to be ready for, criticism, whether it's good, bad. You have to be willing to have tough skin. You have to be vulnerable. Like, before I started this, I didn't think about the fact that I have to open up and be vulnerable and possibly put my life out there to a certain extent. Before even thinking about this podcast, I never even thought about having a YouTube account. Don't judge me. I mean, I watch shows on YouTube, but I never really had an account. I was never really thinking about, my story would help anybody, but going through what I went through these last few years, absolutely, I feel like I can help someone. Someone can benefit from me telling my stories. So right now I'm just going to give you some tea about me. So I don't know if I ever told you guys, I am Haitian. My parents were born in Haiti. So shout out to my Haitians. I hate when someone asks me what my nationality is, and I tell them I'm Haitian, and they go and say "sac passe na boule." Like, I hate that crap. Like, it's so corny to me. But yes, I am Haitian. I'm one of those that listens and to Haitian music. Like, I'm up to date with the artists. I go to bals. Like, I love to dance. So that's me. I listen to Haitian music more than I listen to American, like R&B and stuff. Like, I like soca, I like reggae, I like those things. So when people are telling me the baby, little baby, all of them, I don't know these people. Like, I didn't grow up listening to that type of music. So don't judge me. I do want to just vent to you guys. Like, I'm very upset. So I had a Uber account maybe since 2016-ish or even earlier. I had 4 something stars on YouTube, on Uber. I'm saying YouTube. I was a loyal customer. I would take Ubers to go out with my friends because I never drink and drive. So I would take Ubers to go out with my friends every single time. Even though I have a car, I would not drive. I'm going out with one of my friends this weekend. I'm calling an Uber. I don't care. I don't want to drink and drive. Neither should you. You should drink responsibly. So, been a long time loyal customer for Uber and Uber Eats. And one day I went to log in and it said that my account was locked. And I'm like, this is odd. Why would my account be locked? So I tried to sign in and it kept telling me the same thing. Please reach out to Uber support. Your account has been disabled. I got an email that I've been, my account has been suspended indefinitely for violating policies. Me, little old me, violating policies? What policies, That really irked my soul. So I was like, let me ask my sister Ariana for her Uber account. I'll just put my card in and try to place an order. Then it said payment method could not be used. And I'm like, this is very weird. So let me try Apple Pay. Same thing. So I asked Ariana to use my card on her phone. Couldn't go through. So I sent her the money and the order went through. So the only thing I can come up with is that they banned my devices and my cards. But I'm like, what the hell? And I reach out to them, they don't answer. So I'm putting this out in public because I want someone to share my video with someone in the higher ups at Uber and to have them call me or email me, whatever, because I've sent several emails with my phone number to please explain to me why my account was banned. I never once disputed a drive. I know these drivers need money. I would never do that to somebody. My Uber drivers, I never had complaints with them. They, I use Uber all the time. Now, when I'm going out this weekend with my friend, I have to ask Ariana to place the order for the Uber. I have to give her the money. I don't want to have to go through all of that. I just want to have my account again, please. And then on top of that, as you know, I started this podcast. I created an Instagram for it called The Tea List. And I attached it to my Facebook page because I wanted to start possibly advertising for it. And my account was suspended. Why? Because they're saying some Instagram that is not even mine. I never seen it before. has violated some policies, and for me to appeal, I have to log into Instagram. I don't know where to appeal it from. Like, it's obvious that someone is probably using my information, but I don't know how to fix this. So it's very frustrating to me. Very, very frustrating. Now that I'm done venting, sorry guys, I'll give you some tea. I am from Brooklyn. Not sure if I mentioned that, Brooklyn, New York. I hate wintertime. I hate wintertime. I hate the snow. I hate it all. Although I was born during a major snowstorm, I hate it. I like to be in the beach, well, in the water, on an island, sipping mojitos. That's my favorite go-to drink, by the way. But yeah, I would travel every year for my birthday somewhere warm. This year, possibly Curacao. I love Curacao. Like, that's one of the places I would love to live in. It's one of the safest islands. The water is beautiful. The people are nice. I just love it there. I really do. They speak multiple languages. The food is, oh my God. The street market, the food is, I cannot wait to go. All right. So in my sneak peek video, I did mention miscarriages with an S. And I know a lot of people are like, huh? I know you only had one miscarriage. Well, guys, I only mentioned one. That was my first pregnancy. If I'm being honest, I knew days after conceiving that I was pregnant. I'm one of those people that I am very in tune with my body. Like, my cycle is the same 26 days, every 26 days. I know that's too much information, but that's how my cycle used to be. After having a baby and breastfeeding, all of that just gone all over the place. But yes, every 26 days I would get my period. So I knew when it would come, I would have cramps. But a few days after, started feeling symptoms. I'm like, this is weird, you know? And of course, I couldn't take a test because it was way too early. I had to wait for my HCG levels to, I guess, populate. So once it was like a few days before my period, like 2 days before, I took a pregnancy test. It was positive. The shit just said pregnant. I'll never forget. I peed on it. I put it down, and I was like, on my phone, you know, scrolling down Instagram, and within a minute I was like, let me just see what the status of this test is showing. And it just automatically popped up pregnant. I'm like, this ain't real. Maybe this ain't right. Let me take another pregnancy test. Took another one positive. I was like, okay. Then my period didn't come at all, actually. So I was like, okay, now I know I'm definitely pregnant. Went to Florida. I had to hide it. It was my cousin's graduation. I was scheduled to make the drinks, and I'm like, I can't taste them. This is, my best friend was the first person I told about my pregnancy. Like, I sent her the picture. We're both like, oh my God, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm definitely gonna keep the baby. Like, I wanna be a mom. But then after we came back home from that trip, my family and I was like, you know, I wanna be fit, I wanna be active. So just a sidebar. Before all of that, I had gone on this health journey where I was like, I need to lose weight. I despised the way I looked because, like, I was like the biggest one out of my friends group. I didn't like the way I felt in clothes. I felt like stiff. I felt like uncomfortable. So I was like, I have to do something about it, and I did. I went to a nutritionist. I changed my diet. I was working out 5 days a week. I lost about 35 pounds, and your girl was snatched for the gods, okay? So I enjoyed that year after I lost my weight. I was out drinking, having a good time. I just knew how to manage my drinking with dieting. So I did just that. You know, I wasn't drinking every day. I'm not an alcoholic, guys. I was doing social drinking with my friends. And like everyone does in their 20s, they enjoy themselves. That's what I did. But I enjoyed it. And then I ended up pregnant. And they do say after you lose weight, you increase the chances of getting pregnant. And I guess that's what happened to me. So after the trip, I came home. I was working out on the treadmill because I was like, I want to be fit. I don't want to just, let myself go while I'm pregnant. I was working out before, I'm going to work out now. So I was working out that day. I did some sit-ups. And then I got out the shower, and then I just felt a gush of blood. I'm telling you, at that very moment, I felt like I caused that miscarriage. And until this day, I still do. Like, I always ask myself, what if I didn't work out that day? Would this outcome still be the same? I went immediately to the emergency room. They did a vaginal ultrasound. They said they didn't see any blood. But it could have just been that I'm carrying multiple, which does happen sometimes, to wait a few days, or if my body is miscarrying, it's going to happen regardless. It was too early for them to intervene or do anything at the moment. So I started panicking, like, oh my God, this whole thing could be gone within a blink of an eye. After that, things were okay. I had to go back to repeat the blood work. My HCG levels did double, which is what it's supposed to do when you're pregnant in the beginning. So it's like, okay, good. So I can be happy. Things are moving in the right direction. Shortly after that, though, I started cramping, bloody discharge. And actually, I never told nobody this, but one day I did, TMI, by the way, I saw like probably a big blood clot. And I'm like, maybe I just passed my child. But I didn't say anything because I was still hopeful that maybe all of this would just go past. Some people do experience spotting in the beginning of their pregnancies. It's called like implantation bleeding. So I was like, maybe that's what's happening. Then I had to go back in for another repeat ultrasound, and that's when I saw the sac, and there was so much debris. And they were like, your body has not discharged of this yet, so we're going to have to perform a D&C so you don't become septic. And I felt like my world just crushed. Like, I was like, maybe I cannot carry my own child. I may have to look at something else. What is wrong with me? But I believe it's like 1 in 4 women experience miscarriages. So, it didn't make me feel good that other women had to go through that, but it also reassured me that it's not just me. But you still have that thought in your head. So for a few months, I gave up the thought of having kids. At the moment, I just didn't want to think about it or be pregnant. I wasn't ready. But then I did end up pregnant again. And this one I did not tell, like, my sisters, my child's father, my friends. I kept this one to myself because I wanted to make sure that it was successful, right? So I was trying to hold off. I had told my mom because I was experiencing, I think, heartburn, something. And I needed to make sure that the medication that I was going to take was safe for pregnancy. My mom's a nurse manager, so you have to check, like, what level it is to make sure that you can take it. So she knew. And then about a week or so after finding out the test was positive, I did miscarry. I started wondering that something is wrong with me. Maybe I am not meant to have children. And, it was just like, I felt my world crashing because for so long, from when I was little, I wanted to be a mother. But then I ended up pregnant with my son. And this one, nobody knew until after. My child's father was the first one to know. But, my friends and stuff, I wanted to hold on to this for a little bit, just to, make sure that this would be successful. So that's why I announced on Thanksgiving dinner that I was pregnant. And still, honestly, throughout that entire pregnancy, I was fearful. I wanted to make sure that I carried this child full term. I didn't care if his hair was brown, curly like mine. I didn't care if he was light-skinned. I didn't give a damn about none of that shit, because none of that shit matters at all. What you should be asking God for is for a healthy pregnancy, healthy delivery, and a healthy baby. That's all I prayed for. So every week that I turned a new week, I would be in the shower and I would pray. Every week that a week turned, I would pray. Because I just wanted to say thank God for allowing me to experience this pregnancy. Thank God that you allowed me to see this through. Please allow a healthy pregnancy, healthy delivery, healthy baby. That's all I wanted. So, yeah, I mean, once you have a miscarriage, that trauma stays with you. Well, for me at least. I was still afraid throughout my entire pregnancy. The only time I felt relief was once that baby hit my chest. So that is one of the secrets as well that I didn't share. I did have 2 miscarriages before my son. Now I will go, like, I'm gonna have my doctor. I'm so happy he agreed to be on my show. He's like, absolutely. I am honored that you thought of me. Like, why wouldn't I? He was very like, I built this connection with him. I don't know if he feels the same way with me, but honestly, like, I trust him. Like, I know that he will do whatever he can to help his patients, and that's what I appreciate about him. So he will be on my show. We'll go, further into miscarriages and different forms of miscarriages, infertility. I told you, like, the disparities of healthcare in Black women or women of color. So I'm very excited about that. Guys, it's just like, it feels so weird just telling, your secrets out there to the public. But I shared that experience to let you know that, sometimes you have to go through some things to get to where you're going. There were times that I would think about, what if that first pregnancy was successful? Like, how old would that child be? I always thought when I was pregnant that first time that it was a boy. So I was like, I wonder what he would be like if he were here today, how old he would be. But then I stopped myself, because if I did carry that child full term, I would not have my son. He wouldn't be here today. And I am forever grateful for him. He's a blessing. He does instill a lot of fears that I didn't think about before having him. I don't know if you remember, guys, there was an earthquake that happened. Well, it hit New Jersey the most, but some parts of Brooklyn felt it, and I did feel it. I was at the nail salon getting my nails done. My son was at home with my sister and my mom, and I felt this shaking. It didn't stop. So I'm like, wait, this is an earthquake? At that moment, my heart started to pound, because that was the moment I realized, Talia, you cannot protect your son from everything. There's just certain things that are not in your control that you cannot protect him from. Can I control a natural disaster from occurring? No. So that brought more fear. Like, I was not sleeping at night. I was panicking. Like, I could not breathe, knowing that, damn, I really can't protect this child from everything. I can do my best, but there's certain things that are not in my control, and that is one of them. So I say that to say that before I had my son, I was like, I raised so many of my little cousins. My little cousins can tell you that I was babysitting them left, right, and center. I enjoyed it. They would call me, hey, can you? Absolutely. Why the hell would I say no? I love kids. So when I got pregnant, in the beginning, I'm like, I got this. I know what it is to take care of a child. Bullshit. I'm sorry for cursing, but that's bullshit. All that shit goes out the window when it's your own. I took classes, parenting classes to learn the difference between teething and ear aches, to learn tips on breastfeeding and how to have the baby latch on, skin to skin, all of that. Let me tell you, once they put that baby on your chest, all of that goes out the window. It's like you're learning right there. Like, everything I thought I knew, I did not know. I was learning as I went. And I see why they say that, the first child is usually the experimental child, which I'm trying not to let that happen with my son. But my breastfeeding experience with him, I know what I need to do with my next child. Yes, I did breastfeed him. Because breastfed babies are the best. No shade to anybody that gives their baby formula. But for me, I knew that breastfeeding was something I wanted to. I gave birth. My body gave birth to this child. My body was going to feed this child. That was my mentality. I was like the first one in my family to successfully breastfeed, so it was like taboo for them. They were like, your milk is too light, like you got to give him something heavier. I'm like, way back in the days when there was no formula, people were breastfeeding their kids and they were fine. So I feel like now that I broke that out, I'm hoping that more family members will try to do that and follow my lead on breastfeeding. I'm not going to force it, but I do think that it is something that is very beneficial. Hence why I will have a lactation consultant come on. My lactation consultant, I love her to death. Karen is like the real deal. Like, we'll text, I'll talk to her about even other things other than breastfeeding, but throughout my journey, she was there. We had like a similar beginning, so like we clicked from the moment I went into one of her breastfeeding classes. It's crazy when you start speaking to other people, you realize how common the situations you're going through is. Like, you're like not the only one going through something. So yeah, that was my journey to motherhood. Guys, I really hope nobody is upset that I didn't tell them about that. It's just like, sometimes you don't want to keep having to be the bearer of bad news. Like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer all the time. So I try not to like impose my problems onto people. Although sometimes it happens, but you know, like, but it takes a village to raise a kid. And I'm forever grateful for my village. I'm forever grateful for my parents, my God, who have stepped up and helped me out with my son. It's words cannot express how grateful I am and blessed I am to have them in my life. Okay, on to better things. So, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoy my podcast, enjoy what I have to say. I believe the next few episodes will be with special guests. I didn't mention my father being on this because my father's one of those people, like, he don't seem like the type that would want to be on here, on camera, where people know his business. He does not understand why people have to talk about their business to other people. So I don't think he'll join. He'll probably say hi and walk away. But yes, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable. I know there's more of that to come. I just hope you all share. Please subscribe. Please like. Thank you for joining and watching my episode today. You guys stay safe and enjoy. Bye.